Hi there, we're on day 26 on our Through the New Testament in 1 Year. And today we are doing Matthew 17, the Transfiguration. Very interesting chapter, okay? It's not very long, so it shouldn't take long. After 6 days, Jesus took with him Peter and James and John, his brother, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them, and his face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. And behold, there appeared to them Moses and Elijah talking with him. And Peter said to Jesus, Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, and one for you, and one for Moses, one for Elijah. He was still speaking, when behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them. And a voice from the cloud said, This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. Right? When the disciples heard this, they fell on their faces and were terrified. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, Rise and have no fear. And when they lifted up their eyes, they saw no one but Jesus only. As they were coming down the mountain, Jesus commanded them, Tell no one the vision until the Son of Man is raised from the dead. And then and the disciples asked him, Then why do the scribes say that first Elijah must come? He answered, Elijah does come, and he will restore all things. But I tell you that Elijah has already come, and they did not recognize him, but did to him whatever they pleased. So also the Son of Man will certainly suffer at their hands. Then the disciples understood that he was speaking to them of John the Baptist. Okay? He often said, if you want to believe it, then John the Baptist was Elijah. Because remember, Elijah didn't die. He was taken up. And I always wondered, just a little side thing, now the law saying that nobody could make an effigy or a portrait of anybody else. Okay, so there were no paintings of Elijah and Moses, and we don't have super accurate descriptions in the scriptures that we have. How did they know it was Elijah and Moses? Okay? Something must have told them that's Elijah and Moses, because there would have been no pictures or paintings of them. Just interesting, Okay, Jesus heals a boy with a demon. And then they came to the crowd, and a man came up to him, kneeling before him, said, Lord, have mercy on my son, for he has seizures and suffers terribly. But he often falls into the fire and often into the water. And I brought him to your disciples, and they could not heal him. And Jesus answered, O faithless and twisted generation, how long am I to be with you? How long am I to bear with you? Bring him here to me. And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and the boy was healed instantly. And there's lots of notes in here, okay? From that hour, rebuked the demon, the demon, came out of him. Then the disciples came to Jesus privately and said, Why could we not cast it out? He said to them, Because of your little faith. For truly I say to you, if you have faith like the grain of a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, Move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Right? Now it says some manuscripts add the verse 21, okay? But this kind never comes out except by prayer and fasting, okay? The reason it's not in here, it's not in every manuscript, okay? Certain manuscripts, like I was saying on the study earlier, it was a job in like the first century and stuff to the scribes copy the scriptures, okay, to make copies of them. They didn't have printers or, anything, so they made copies, and those copies went around, and a lot of those copies are where we get our translations from, right? So, and a lot of them don't have that verse, and some of them do, okay? And they keep the numbering just so all the numbering across all the versions will stay the same, verse numbers. So 21 is not in the English Standard Version, but it is in many other versions, okay? This type doesn't come out except by prayer and fasting. And that's a whole study by itself, okay? Okay. Jesus again foretells death, resurrection. As they were gathering in Galilee, Jesus said to them, The Son of Man is about to be delivered into the hands of men, and they will kill him, and he will be raised on the 3rd day. And they were greatly distressed. Wouldn't you be? Temple tax. When they came to Capernaum, the collectors of the 2 drachma tax went up to Peter and said, "Does your teacher not pay the tax?" He said, "Yes." And then he came into the house, and Jesus spoke to him first, saying, "What do you think, Simon? From whom do kings of the earth take toll or tax? From their sons or from others?" When he added, "From others." Yeah. From others, Jesus said to him, "The sons are free. However, to not give offense to them, go to the sea and cast a hook and take the first fish that comes up. When you open its mouth, you will find a shekel. Take that and give it to them for me and for yourself." Right? Would you like to pay your taxes that way? Boy, I would. So, that's the transfiguration, healing of a demon. This is controversial because of that verse 21. Okay? Well, let's go to, I always like to go to the 1599 Geneva book just because it has great notes in it. After 6 days, look at the notes here. Christ is such sort humble in the gospel that in the mean season he is Lord both of heaven and earth. Okay. Luke reckoneth 8 days, continuing in that the number first and last in Matthew speaketh, but of them that were betwixt them. Okay. 6 or 8 days, right? Transfigured, changed into another hue, another color. Yeah. Tents for them, I spoke. We're just looking for notes here. This is my beloved Son. The article of the word that severeth Christ from other children, for he is God's natural Son, we by adoption. Get that? Therefore he is called the first begotten among the brethren, because that although he be of right the only Son, yet he is chief among many, that he is the fountain at the head of the adoption. Right. Interesting. They fell on their faces, fell flat down on their faces and worshipped him. Right. Show me the vision that no man until the Son of the Man arise again. Yeah, don't show this to anybody, which they saw. Otherwise, the word used in this place is properly spoken of that which is seen in a dream. Right. Jesus answered them, Elijah has come already, and they didn't know him. So it's according to Matthew, John the Baptist was Elijah, reincarnated. Some versions say reincarnated, right? And they knew he was talking about John the Baptist. And when they were come to the multitude, there came to him a certain man and fell down at his feet, right? Men are unworthy of Christ his goodness, yet notwithstanding he regardeth them, right? Fell down at his feet, as men that make supplications used to do, right? And said, Master, have pity on my son, for he is a lunatic, crazy, right? They that at certain times of the moon are troubled with the falling sickness or any other kind of disease, but in this place we must so take it that besides the natural disease he had a devilish frenzy. Yeah. The lunatic comes from the word lunar, which means moon. There are people that go crazy at the full moon, right? There's a lot of extra magnetic forces and stuff in hand. There's a science reason for it too, so. And his soul vexed, for oft times he falleth into the fire. I love this old language, right? Jesus answered, O generous and faithless and crooked, how long shall I be with you? Jesus rebuked the devil. Then came the disciples to Jesus apart. Why couldn't we cast him out? Right? Incredulous seemed to trust in their break. Here, Scott. Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. Because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if you have as much faith as a mustard seed, mountain remove hence, right? See, now this one has verse 21 in it, okay? Howbeit this kind goeth not out, but by prayer and fasting, okay? The remedy against distrust, right? To give us to understand the watchfulness and diligence of earnest prayer, which cannot be without sobriety. Prayer and fasting. He doesn't say much about it, huh? Our minds must be prepared more and more against the offense of the cross. Right? Poll money, taxes. In that Christ doth willingly obey Caesar's edicts, he showeth that civil policy is not taken away by the gospel. You got that? Master pay, denieth not, but he asketh. He ought to pay poll money. Yeah, poll money. That they were from 20 years of age to 50, paid half a shekel of the sanctuary. This was an didrachma, which the Romans exacted after they had subdued Judea. So they had a cover charge to get into the tent, right? No. Whom do they take to poll money, of their children or of strangers? Right. Here's a notice here. By children, we must not understand subjects which paid tribute, but natural children. Right. Their own natural children didn't have to pay to get in. Strangers. So, the word used is stater, which is in value 4 drachmas. Every drachma is about 5 pence. Right. So, go. Interesting stuff. You know, the Transfiguration is a very interesting. You know, they call it a vision afterwards, but they saw what they saw, right? And somehow they knew it was Moses and Elijah. Yeah. Interesting. So, we'll mark that as complete, and tomorrow we'll be doing 17, obviously, or 18, half of 18, okay? Who is the greatest temptations to sin? So, there you go. That's Proverbs 17 for the 26th day, okay? Easy to catch up. Just read the first 17 chapters, and you'll be caught up with us for tomorrow. Or you can catch up on the videos. They're all down there. So, but until tomorrow, we'll continue. See you then.